What would you want the minimum yearly income to be for your future husband?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I said 1 billion.
Okay.
That's not trolling. I'm being dead serious.
Okay. That's your serious. That's the minimum yearly income for your future husband.
Give or take.
It's interesting how people say they're not trolling when they actually are. Andrew, what's your assessment here? Do you think she's a troll?
Now we ask the chat.
Hello?
Hang on a second, Brian. I'm sorry. I got something I'm dealing with.
All right. Okay. $1 billion and nothing less is what you wrote. The minimum yearly income to be your future husband.
That'd be pretty sweet, wouldn't it?
Okay. Is that your genuine answer, or
I mean, who knows if I get married?
do you want to get married?
Maybe, if the right guy comes along.
If he's a billionaire. I'm going to probably leave this one up to the chat. Chat, is this a kick? There's already been too much trolling tonight. This might have to be. This might have to be a.
Well, so that was your good faith answer, $1 billion a year?
Yeah.
Really? That seems reasonable.
Okay, I don't understand why I'm getting all the heat for the trolling. I'm a little bit lost. Like, you asked me a question, I gave you an answer.
I mean, in a perfect world, you should
You're
not?
You're
Why
saying
not?
I
right? Like that's
Why
her
not
preference. It's not.
See, I like how you
reality.
think. I like how you think better. 2 billion.
Why
Fuck
not?
it.
Why not 5 billion?
5 billion a year. Yes.
I mean, why stop there? Why not a trillion?
I just think like it's not really fair to say that I'm trolling, right? Because then we're gonna go around later around the table. It's gonna be like, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, and if we say 10, like, oh, you're delusional. Well, you asked us a question and we're answering. So I just don't think it's really fair that you're coming at me saying that I'm trolling when I'm giving you an answer.
Well,
I came here in good faith.
Well, I mean, that's fair. How about instead of that, you just say, I just don't believe you. Right? So I just think that you're not telling the truth, that your minimum requirement is $1 billion. For instance, have you ever actually dated a billionaire?
I choose not to answer that question.
Yeah, so the answer is no. And so now we have evidence that there's a good chance that you're probably not telling us the truth, that that's your minimum.
Yeah, that has to be.
If your history, for instance, is not dating billionaires, right?
Sure.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, and Andrew, I'd like you to weigh in on this. The whole I choose not to answer that question. I mean, that's just totally bad faith.
Yeah, what was the question? I'm sorry.
Well, Andrew, you asked her, well, here, we can test this. Have you dated a billionaire, or the men you've dated, are they billionaires?
Answer, right?
That's like, what? That's ridiculous. Like,
Right, because it would give evidence against the position she gave.
Exactly.
That's why. It just seems kind of silly.
Well, I've been single for over 3 years, so who's to say that?
You've been celibate for over 3 years?
Have I been celibate?
Yeah. Have you been celibate?
No, I haven't been celibate.
Okay. The men that you're sleeping with, are they billionaires?
I choose not to answer that question.
What? You've already admitted to sleeping with them. What does it matter if they're billionaires or not?
Because it's none of your business.
Okay, well, that's fair. We'll just say out of all the men you've ever dated, even if one has been a billionaire, would you say the vast majority of them were not billionaires?
Again, this question is so not something that I need to answer. We can just move on. Like, you're saying that I'm trolling. You're carrying it on, and then you're like, I'm going to kick you out.
I'm just curious if the majority of the men that you have dated were billionaires, even if you had dated a billionaire.
No, majority were not.
Oh, okay. Well, then it seems to give a counter evidence to your position that the minimum requirement that you would need from a guy would be $1 billion a year. Not only does that obviously sound absurd, but then evidence from your own mouth is basically confirming the absurdity. So we're kind of left with the conclusion that you're just giving bad faith answers in order to derail and kind of be a pain in the ass.
What was the actual question on the sheet?
What would you want the minimum yearly income to be for your future husband?
What would I want?
want the minimum yearly income?
What would
to
I
be?
want?
What's with the attitude? What would you want the minimum yearly income to be for your future husband?
Because how is that trolling? What would I want? What would I want it to be?
So, I mean, there's some degree of like realisticness, you know, to the question.
And because billionaires aren't realistic in your world doesn't mean they're not realistic in my world.
I mean, why not a trillionaire? Why wouldn't you want it to be a trillion?
Because I was being realistic.
Oh, that's totally realistic.
But you can't ask me what I would want ideally and then tell me my answer is fake. Do you know what I mean? That's like not really, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, sure. You know, I'll even grant this.
Thank you.
Do you agree with me that that there's inferences with questions, like when somebody asks you a question, they might not be semantically 100% correct, but even if they're not semantically 100% correct, you can infer what the meaning of the question is. Like, for instance, if every other woman at the table answered the question the way that it was intended except you, wouldn't that also lend us even more credibility that you're probably trolling?
Well, I mean,
Right.
every woman at the table is not me, so I can't really compare myself to the other women, respectfully.
Well, how do you make comparisons then? Like, how would we ever make a comparison as to whether or not a person was delusional unless they were making a comparison with people who were not delusional?
Well, you can call me delusional. That's okay. I'll take that.
I didn't call you delusional. I asked you a
I'm saying you
question.
can't. I'm saying you can. You can just you could call me delusional.
Yes, I mean, I can do all sorts of things. I can punch my monitor. I can knock my camera over. I can do all sorts of things, but that really has nothing to do with my question, which is how is it that we would ascertain if you were delusional without comparing you to other people? We couldn't. Same thing with your answer, right? We could compare how a regular person would infer the question, and then based on your answer and then the attitude behind it, whether or not you're telling the truth or trolling or things like this, it seems reasonable to me.
I mean, my answer is sure. That's my answer to your question. But I'm not comparing myself to other women at this table right now. You asked me a question about myself, and I answered the question about myself.
So just to be clear, by the way, this is yearly income. So it's not that you just want to date a billionaire. You want somebody who makes a minimum yearly income of $1 billion and nothing less. Nothing less. So for example, you wouldn't date somebody who makes $750 million a year.
Sorry, I must have missed the annual part then.
It literally says it in the question.
Sure, then I apologize. I missed that part of the question.
So what is your actual position on this then?
I would date a billionaire.
Okay, so they have to be a billionaire though.
Don't have to. I said, you asked what I want.
$1 billion and nothing less.
Right.
So they have to be a billionaire.
Sure.
I mean, the chat pretty much wants you kicked.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose I could give you one final chance. Are you going to participate in good faith?
Yeah, I've been participating in good faith. I feel like I'm being singled out here, to be honest with you.
How would it be?
Because you came at me
singling you
saying
out?
that I was trolling before the show. I came in with good energy. It was quiet as fuck in here. So right, I'm trying to pick up the energy, crack some jokes. Everyone was a little tense. So that's all I was doing. So if you think that's me trolling, I apologize for bringing in good energy.
The thing is, though, the fact that you refuse to answer the question of all the men you've dated or slept with or been involved with previously, none of them are billionaires.
I said majority were not billionaires.
Right.
That was my answer. I answered your question. So now you're just
Yeah.
going back
So
on that.
when's the last time you were with a guy?
I choose not to answer that.
I mean, it pertains to the conversation, so.
Okay, sure. And I still don't.
But it would provide, I mean, you're refusing to answer it because it would provide counter evidence to your claim, your dubious claim here that you want the minimum yearly, or well, I'll just change it. You will only date a billionaire and nothing less. But this is clearly not true if you're sleeping with, dating men who are not billionaires, especially in recent history.
Sure, Brian.
So when's the last time you were romantically or sexually involved with a man?
That I actually don't remember. Truthfully, I'm not trolling. I'm
don't
actually not.
remember. I'm not asking for a specific date and time. You can just say, oh, it was 3 months ago.
It was probably a few months ago.
Yeah, weren't you Okay.
Wasn't I recently what?
Let's see here. Andrew, what do you think about this one from her? Would you rather cross paths with a man or a bear in the forest? To which your answer is
A bear, because I like animals.
because you like animals. Okay, that's good faith. And then you said no because you don't date, even though there seems to be some evidence that you do. And then how tall are you, and what's the minimum height of a man you would date?
What did I put there? I'm 5'6".
Yeah, what's the minimum height of a man you would date?
I don't think height really matters, to be honest.
Height doesn't matter
For me, I'm saying.
for you.
For me, yeah.
So you would date a guy who's shorter than you.
I've dated someone my height before.
You've dated them, but is that your preference?
I think I'm more of a personality person.
You're
So,
a personality person.
I would date. Okay, I know where you're going with that. I would date. You're asking specifically about height. Height doesn't matter to me.
How do you reconcile being a personality person, but you refuse to date anybody besides a billionaire?
Because you're asking me for height. Height preference.
I know, but you also said you're a personality gal. So wouldn't this extend itself to somebody's income or financial standing?
Sure. To an extent.
So how do you reconcile I only care about personality with you will only date a billionaire?
I see like you're putting words in my mouth. I never said I only date.
Yeah, sure.
based on
You said you're a
personality.
personality gal. Personality is more important than like other things like height.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not more than money.
Not more than money. Okay, I see. So perhaps no reconciliation is needed then. Okay, and then finally here,
Wait, personality to you is not more important than money? Is that what you just said? I just
We're
wanna make
saying
sure clear on that.
we're weighing things on a scale, right?
Yeah.
So that was the first
personality
thing
to
that
you-
was asked.
push yourself into frame.
Yeah, so personality to you, less important than money. I just want to make sure we're clear on that.
Yeah, it's secondary.
How did you do on that dating show anyway?
Great.
Yeah. Did you win?
There was no winner.
No, there wasn't. Did you tell the person that you were going to be dating that you cared more about his money than his personality?
No, I didn't get that far.
No. I mean, is that a legitimate answer you'd give on a dating show? Like, if the guy asked you, do you care more about my personality or my money? Would you be like, your money?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Metro Matt donated $200. You're a troll who does off. You have zero respect from anyone. Why waste your time to come on a show? Is it just to grift? Or are you really that thirsty for attention and to gotcha men?
Would you like to answer that?
Well, first, you're welcome for the donation. I mean, I really did come here in good faith. I think you guys are thinking my personality is more trolly than like I actually like. This is just me being me. So I'm not coming on here to be a troll. I've been on here 2 times already, and somehow I don't know. Today you came in with a different energy towards me. So I think that's you problem more so from the beginning. But I came here in good faith. I wouldn't travel all the way here if I wasn't coming here in good faith. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Well, I don't have any preconceived notions.
Libertarian
of anybody.
donated $200. Don't kick her, it's what she wants. The best option is to leave her there and ignore her for the rest of the show.
That is an option. What's that,
Yeah, I
Andrew?
mean, that is true. Well,
That is an
I
option.
don't have any preconceived notions. I haven't seen any of the episodes that you were on. I don't recall engaging with you, so. But it does seem like a very bad faith answer to put the minimum down for what you'd accept from a man to be $1 billion. That seems.
Well, see, again, you guys are using the wrong words, right? You're saying like it has to be. You asked me what I want.
Yeah, why would you settle for less than what you want?
You're asking ideally what I want. I gave you an ideal answer.
So if that's what you want, you would settle for less than you want. That seems like it would be a minimum, right? It'd be like if I said I want my if somebody asked me what's the quality you want in your wife, and I said for her to be faithful, I wouldn't settle for less than her being faithful, right? Would you, if you say, I want a man who makes $1 billion, you settle for less of what you
Well,
want?
I feel like her being, this isn't apples to oranges, because her being
Well, every
faithful is a little bit out
analogy is
of
apples
your,
to oranges.
I mean, apples to apples. Sorry, my bad. Thank you for calling me out on that. What you're saying, though, like, that's out of your control if your wife is faithful, so.
Yeah, but why? But so what? It potentially out of your control. If
It's
your
like,
man
it's what
is
you
a
want, right?
billionaire.
But is that, like, not good, like, gonna necessarily happen or not? I don't really want to argue. Like, I'm not really here to, like, argue. I was really here to just, like, be chill, but, like.
Well, it's not much of an argument, really. It's not like we're doing blood sport debates here or anything.
Yeah.
Just kind of clearing up some bizarre semantics because it was a bizarre answer, and it seemed kind of trollish. Can you at least grant that it would seem to be very trollish if you say, I want a man who makes $1 billion, that seems just slightly absurd. And when you match it on your personality, you don't seem like you're a complete idiot, so it seems perhaps contrived, right?
I mean, it can seem that way to you. My genuine answer was that. I'll leave it at that. And then you guys can do what you want with that answer.